gonna to assist, and he's gonna Conquest this so far. Let's go for a run. Do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? It's time. The Conquest warning lights are ablazing because we have a new challenger entering the Conquest Hollow Table, and that is going to be Empress Rey, aka Dark Side Vision Rey, aka Goth Rey, aka a big deal character that you do not want to miss. In case you guys have been sleeping in a cave in Tatooine, there's a card in the top right-hand corner. This is going to be a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lifter, and you do not want to miss it because we know Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is one of the greatest galactic legends to ever be birthed in the galactic legend hemisphere, and he's only going to get better. And I got great news. Trust me, we're not wearing the bulletproof Beskar Crocs for no reason. We're not wearing the Triple B Airflow tactical shorts for Triple B sweaty gameplay for no reason. A lot of you guys are going to be getting your first red crate. Exciting stuff. And to prove the point, we are going to be using my free-to-play account today to model what I am going to do because I think I'm going to get my first red crate on the free-to-play account. Very exciting. The feats are surprisingly generous compared to other recent ones we've had. Are you guys ready to get down to work? Are you guys brave enough to venture into the hell that is Conquest? Well, if so, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts down below. And may the odds be ever in your favor throughout your pursuit in getting Dark Side Rey. Let's get down to business. Wake up, people. It's time to get down. We're going to break down the first preliminary things quickly because I want to get into the feat action. No, not that type of feat. F-E-A-T, soldier. Whoa! Let's talk about first. Red is what we're striving for. If my free-to-play account can do it, I'm hoping a lot of you other guys can do it out there. If you're going for red crate, you are going to be able to skip out on 34 key cards. 3, 4. Did that process? There we go. How much louder do I gotta be? I'm excited to take on these feats with you guys as we're gonna see, but if your roster's not into the challenge or your soul just can't handle the Conquest grind, well, don't worry. Gold Crate is gonna be very accessible with 134 key cards that you can skip. And let me tell you, there are a lot of things on here that are very accessible. There are more accessible things than non-accessible. Let's say that. And if you wanna know what am I gonna be skipping, well, stay towards the end of the video. I'm gonna say what feats am I skipping on my free-to-play in order to get red crate. Next up, data discs are going to be important. Only downside is generally before a Conquest starts, we're not 100% sure what the data discs are, but generally we have the meta previous set from the Ezra Bridger Exile. And what that was, do you guys remember? We're going to start off with the base data disc of Volatile Accelerator, then throw on another 1 or 2 Amplify Agonies to really drive that Volatile Accelerator home. And then the big data disc that came up last season for Ezra was Weak Point, which gave you increased offense for the amount of debuffs on the other team. And well, when you have Volatile Accelerator and all these other debuffs, you're going to be locked in. So that's going to be our base set that we're going to work with, and you'll have a little bit of free space to do other stuff. But be ready, be prepared to adapt, my friends, because as you guys know, when you venture throughout Conquest, you might not get the data discs you want. And on top of that, well, we're not 100% sure these are going to be the data discs, but generally these should be. You ready? You locked in? Let's talk about the feats now. All right, look alive, people. Let's talk about the global feats because these are going to be important as you progress through any of these sectors. We want to try to intertwine as many of the sector feats to the global feats. Put it on the screen, Gary. Here's what we have for global feats. It's looking pretty good. Of course, you're going to need to defeat 250 enemies on the golden challenge path. Easy peasy, my friends. Next up, you're going to have to do 15 battles and Marok in your squad. Notice it doesn't say survive. They could be level 1. Throw it in your Ewok team for all I care. They just have to be there. Very good, low gear accessible. Critical chance down 100 times. Don't worry, we have solutions to that. Win 15 battles with a full Dark Side unaligned Force User squad. Seeing that this is going to be a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lifter, if you have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, he is going to be doing overtime this Conquest. Big plus. And then 15 battles with a full Night Sister crew. Remove turn meter 60 times with the War of Attrition, which is granted from the Night Sister feat. And then win 15 battles with the full squad of Galactic Republic, completing a battle with deployable cooling systems afterwards once you've done that. These are some of the easier global feats that we've had, people. Let's get over to the board and show you what my free-to-play accounts do. Today we're going to use the free-to-play account that I have the greatest free-to-play account of all time. Duh, it's proven factually. Why? Because I said so. Here's what I'm gonna be doing on my free-to-play account. Starting off with the Shin and Marok feat 15 times. It doesn't matter what's on the team. You're gonna wanna utilize Shin and Marok when you're maybe farming out a Datacron node, for example, or when you're trying to do any other feat. Unaligned Forest, use the Dark Side. Throw them in. Mercenaries, we're gonna have a lot of mercenaries. Doesn't matter. This is gonna be one of the easier feats to do. No problem. Throw them in there, piggyback, move on. Any team of your choosing. Critical chance down. Now, I'm gonna show a little graphic here showing all the characters that have some degree of critical chance down. What I'm gonna be doing, based off my roster, to maximize the critical chance down application, Grand Moff Tarkin is gonna be the M to the V to the P, baby. Through intimidation tactics, Grand Moff Tarkin can apply critical chance down everybody, but you're gonna have a lot of other options at your disposal, so feel free to check out what's in your roster, see what you have. I think GMT here is gonna do pretty darn well, so that's gonna be my primary pick for what I'm gonna do, but again, there are lots of options out there. Next up, Dark Side Unaligned Forest user team. You're gonna have a lot of different things out there that you could use. You could maybe go with, for example, just throw in Malicos and a bunch of other Dark Side people. I think what most are gonna probably do, Dark Side Unaligned Forest users with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. This is what I have my free-to-play account. SOKR, Kylo Ren Mask, Baby Kylo, Star Killer Mara Jade. Boom, we're ready to rock and roll, people. Easy money, no whammies, but again, whatever Dark Side characters you have, put them together. Again, this should not be a problem. Again, if you're over 4 or 5 million GP, you probably have some Dark Side Unaligned Force users laying around, especially if you pursued Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Night Sisters, straightforward. Unfortunately, my Night Sisters aren't gonna be good, so spoiler, I'm likely gonna skip out on this unless I decide to start gear 'em up, so use your Mother Talisman. Great mothers, come on people, you know your Night Sister at this point. And then lastly, tons of Galactic Republic lineups that you can utilize. You might be able to wiggle in some of the sectors with them. You can use Queen Amidala, Master Kenobi, Padme. Come on people, you know the Galactic Republic crews. Now let's get into the actual sectors. Engaging Sector 1 now. Sector 1, people, let's show you what we have on the board here. We have, first and foremost, inflict critical damage down, win 10 battles with Morgan Elsbeth surviving. So unlike that global feat with Marok and Shin, Morgan Elsbeth needs to survive, but don't worry, easy to cheese that, my friend. Win 10 battles with a full squad of mercenaries, and you might be saying, it's pay to play mercenaries. I knew. Compose yourself, soldier! No problem. The mercenary tag is basically a reformed bounty hunter. Scoundrel tag shouldn't be a problem. Furthermore, we have Blight 40 times, then the mini boss, Detra Peridia, just defeat him with an enemy, cool, and then win without using any attackers in your squad, and then finally, win with Luth and Rail in your squad, win with Marok. Here's what we have, people. What I'm gonna be doing here, first and foremost, mercenaries. Again, it's a reformed bounty hunter scoundrel hybrid thing that we got going on. For my roster, Beskar Mando's probably gonna utilize to kind of get the mercenaries going, but furthermore, Dash Rendar is gonna be pivotal in this sector. He is a mercenary. Number 1. Furthermore, he's got a little thing called critical damage down. On that beautiful AoE that Dash Rendar likes to rock, Seeker Missiles has that beautiful, beautiful critical damage down. So I think that's going to be the key thing that I'm going to use. But if you want other critical damage down options, it's graphic on the screen. This is some other options you have at your disposal. However, do note, this could be a great opportunity to use Shin and Marok. If you have Balin, you don't need to watch this video. You're ready to go. If you have a decent Shin or Marok, throw them in Beskar Mando. Let them do their thing. Again, they don't need to survive to count for the global feat. Listen closely. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. One more time. Don't you dare skip out on the Blight and Imperial Remnant feats. You might be like, oh, my Enoch is low gear. That's actually perfect. We're going to be using Enoch again this Conquest cycle, just like we had for Ezra Bridger Exile. Actually, and funny enough, to get Blight, the lower your gear is on this team, the easier it is. Let me quickly remind you, people, if you're not an Enoch aficionado yet. When an Empire gains decay, long story short, and decay is when a trooper dies, basically, Imperial Remnant, let's be specific. When they're about to die, they basically, I know it's weird, zombies are kind of weird, what can I say? Enoch's unique ability here allows them to apply Blight when they gain decay. Super easy. On my free-to-play account, I can knock this out in 1 or 2 battles. Please do not skip this. It seems like you have to. We did it last time. We're doing it again. You see my gear levels on them? Do you see them? them. I mean, if I can do this, so can you. No excuses, people. Morgan Elsbeth needs to survive 10 times. Now, of course, if you have a fully functioning Morgan Elsbeth, you're good to go. Throw it at the Great Mothers. It's going to help you out for the global feat. You're ready to rock and roll. However, for me, I don't have a great Morgan Elsbeth. I'm going to pretty much use the perimeter Calren to carry it, or some other galactic legend hider in the back. Let him nuke out the opposing team. Again, a lot of ways to help her survive. You're going to need a good team to back her up. As we said, if you have a good Night Sister team, easy. It's going to knock out the global feat, get the sector feat done. So Sector 1 is where I am going to start skipping stuff. Depending on your roster, some of these might be fine. Like, I actually have Luthen Rail, so I might not skip this, but you might skip Luthen Rail. So start tallying what you need to skip, but everything else should be very doable. There's nothing pay-to-win exclusive here, or gated exclusive. All right, people, Sector 1 is locked in. Let's go on to Sector number 2. Sector 2, gain potency up 50 times. Win 10 battles with Great Mother surviving. Win 10 battles with a full squad of unaligned force users. Attempt to inflict armor shred. Defeat an enemy of Shin Hati. Win with a full squad of Night Sisters. Defeat an enemy of Ezra Exile. And win with a full squad of mercenary units. Let's get up and running, people. This is going to be a great bang perk buck sector. First off, check this out here. You can go, for example, with the Jedi crews, like what I'm going to do here. If you happen to have Ki-Adi Mundi or Jedi Anakin Skywalker, are going to be good to go. Jedi Luke with maybe Kit Fisto with the big AoE that he has. Grandmaster Yoda could spread that AoE even more with the potency up, but. Even though we know Kit Fisto's got that potency up, don't forget, sometimes, you know, we forget about these things. But Kyle Katarn can also apply potency up for your team through just a guy with a lightsaber. All allies gain critical chance of potency up for 2 turns. All allies. Doesn't matter if they're Ewoks, Jawas, Ugnaughts, doesn't matter. Potency up to everyone. Take advantage of that if you have Kyle Katarn. And you know what? If you're looking for more suggestions on potency up, graphic on the screen of all the other characters that offer some sort of potency up mechanic, but this is likely what I'm going to be using on my free-to-play account. But I need some more armor shred options or more potency up options. Well, guess what? You're watching the king of mobile gaming right here. I got you covered. We have another option right here where this has a nice balance of a few things. First and foremost, has Tarkin to contribute towards that global feat that we talked about. It's going to have, for example, potency up, which Sith Marauder applies on it. That ability, whatever the heck it's called, and then Gideon can apply armor shred. So again, lots of options. You need to be maximizing your feats in Sector 2 here. Great Mothers are going to be involved here too, and this one, they need to survive. So Great Mothers, of course, if you have the full Night Sister gang, why are you here? Because you love me and you're having a good time. Aw, you're so sweet. But nonetheless, you're in a good spot. However, for me, likely again, I'm going to try to throw Great Mothers behind some sort of formidable team and then let them just piggyback off that team again. Take them to the finish line. Try not to skip this out. Try to keep them alive, baby. Also, unaligned Force User team doesn't need to be Dark Side, but you might as well use Dark Side to knock out this sector feat because it's going to double dip into the global feat. Come on, 2 for 1 special, people! And if you need other armor shred options, got them on the screen here. You got things like Sabine, for example. Maybe the armor. Maybe you have Bo-Katan, Mandalore. You got a couple of options out there, Commander Ahsoka Tano. But for me, likely I'm going to have to rely on Gideon to get my armor shreds in. A little bit annoying, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. So likely in this sector, the biggest problem you're gonna have is Ezra Bridger Exile. You either have him or you don't. My free-to-play does not. So you might need to start marking that down as another feat a lot of you guys are gonna have to skip. I know, but don't worry. Red Crate is still in sight for this free-to-play account. But you know what else is in sight? Sector 3. Engage! Sector 3. Here are the feats. Attempt to inflict Axie down 50 times. Win 10 battles without using a leader in the leader slot. Win 10 battles of Death Trooper Prettius surviving. Attempt to inflict stun 50 times. The mini boss is asked for Morgan Elsbeth to survive. Defeat an enemy of mercenary units. And then finally the boss. Win with Padawan Sabine Wren in your squad. And win with only dark side characters. Let's talk about the sector feats in general. First and foremost, we have accuracy down is going to be the core thing we want to work with. Now again, let's put a little graphic up. Here are all the accuracy down characters that exist in this game. Not too many. What I'm going to end up using is going to be this beautiful Cad frickin' Bane. His basic gunslinger has it. I'm going to mostly use it with Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt can call Cad Bane to assist. It's going to be one of the more annoying things, but nonetheless, you probably have other options if you have a more robust roster, and you know, we might have some other options for you. The no lead thing, of course, you have a lot of options. Pick a character with no lead. Wow, Arnold, you're the best. I know! go. What I'm gonna probably use is something like Dark Malik, for example. Ideally, I want to try to lock in as many things as possible, so maybe try to get Malik in there, mix it with a little bit of potency up, and then Jedi Knight Luke for the stun as well. Again, a lot of stun characters at this point, but Jedi Knight Luke would be a great option to knock that out. This is gonna be my primary accuracy down to. If this is not getting me enough with the Malik lead, well, don't worry. I got Jabba to get it done, or a bounty hunter team, get Boss to have Cad Bane to assist, for example. Now we do have a feat requiring Death Trooper Peridia survive. Can't just beat a squad, needs to survive. So again, if you're running a low gear Death Trooper Peridia, you might need to have it piggyback off someone like, whoa, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Or again, don't underestimate the power of the Enoch Imperial Remnant Troopers here, especially as you're building up DATADISKS. You'll be surprised how much this team can do. So this is gonna be another great opportunity to utilize them. And furthermore, guess what? The basic has an accuracy down as well. Not as good as the other options though, but it's there nonetheless. Now, when looking at Sector 3, all of these should be very doable. Again, Morgan Elsbeth surviving, easy. We already knocked that out a while ago, do it again. Mercenary units, easy. A lot of mercenaries, knock it out. And also, Padawan Sabine Wren does not need to survive, just needs to be in your squad, easy. You guys should have a free Padawan Sabine Wren. And then win with only dark side characters, easy peasy. Let's dial up the heat, because people, what comes after 3? 4! Sector 4, engage! Here are the feats for Sector 4. Inflict speed down 50 times. Win 10 battles of Night Trooper and Captain Enoch in your squad. Win 10 battles of Shin surviving. Win at least 10 battles without losing any units. Win without using any Jedi, Sith, or unaligned Force user, and defeat an enemy with any Kylo Ren for the mini boss. And then for the boss, win with Hu Yang surviving, and win with a full squad of unaligned Force users. Oh man, we are gonna get some double dipping going. But don't tell your family at the family party. No one likes people double dipping inside the little nacho platter going on. First things first, with this thing, we want to talk about some of the exclusive debuffs that we need to take care of. Well, not exclusive, but the focus debuff or buff for this sector. And this one's gonna be speed down. Lots of speed down in this game. If you need some help, here's a picture of a lot of speed down characters. You know, the 5s, for example. But what I'm gonna be using here, Vader. Lots of speed down on this guy. Force Crush is an AoE speed down effect. Come on, people. Doesn't get much better than that. Probably gonna be the focal point of this sector. And on top of that, if you're still working on that global feat, Grand Moff Tarkin can work side by side with Darth Vader. And then you could have Thrawn just keep passing turns to Tarkin for the global feat, passing turns to Darth Vader. Speed down, you're gonna be speed upping through it. Okay, it's late right now. That's the best I can come up with. Next up, we have Night Trooper and Enoch in your squad. Now, of course, you can stick to a full Remnant team. I admire you. If you don't trust your Remnant team, plug them into some other lineup. Let them piggyback off them. Keep in mind, they do not need to survive. Enoch and Night Trooper do not need to survive. Or if you really want to get crazy, what if you had Supreme Leader Kylo Ren carry as well as Night Trooper? And you know what? Shin Hati needs to survive as well, so throw her in there. But unlike Enoch and Night Trooper, Shin needs to survive. I don't know, triple dip if you can, but don't sweat it. Easy stuff, take your time. You got this, people. And of course, win 10 battles without losing any units. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're not dropping a single battle, right? Right? And you're not gonna be dropping a single unit. None of these feats in Sector 4 should really be a problem. You have a free Hu Yang, he needs to survive again. Easy to cheese that. Hopefully you guys got a Kylo Ren out there, and hopefully you have a full squad of unaligned Force users again. Great opportunity to focus on that dark side unaligned Force user for the global feat. And now we got one more sector to go. 3, 4, 5. Conquest is so fun. Let's go for a run. Here are the Sector 5 feats. Gain critical damage up 50 times. Win 10 battles with the full squad of Imperial Remnant. Win 10 battles with Morgan Elsbeth and Great Mothers surviving. Evade at least 100 attacks in battles you won. Mini boss. Win without using any attacker on units in your squad. Mini boss again. Win with Shin surviving, and boss. Win with only light side characters. And the last thing, win with Balin Skull in your squad. So obviously, elephant in the room, Balin Skull. Not a lot of you guys have them. You're gonna have to skip out of that one, but again, should keep us in the running for a red crate. In regards to critical damage up, you have some options here. First and foremost, if you're chasing for your Imperial Remnants, the Enoch crew is gonna get the job done. Hopefully you got some good DATADISKS, and they can get you some survivals here. Keep in mind as well, Enoch's basic ability has the opportunity to grant critical damage up if the enemy had blight on them, the target enemy, that is. Good stuff there, right? So Imperial Remnants, critical damage up, 2 for 1 special. Again, if you need more suggestions 50% critical damage up. Here's a picture of some characters that also have it. But you know what? Another good thing to have, if you happen to have this thing called Jedi Master Luke, this is going to be easy for the Jedi as well. And you can double dip here as well. Jedi Master Luke can grant up to the ally he assists or they grow beyond. So what you're going to do is you're going to call Grandmaster Yoda to assist, and he's going to spread those buffs around town. But besides the critical damage up that he's sharing, guess what? He is spreading a little thing called Foresight, which is gonna lock in a lot of your evade stuff as well. Hermit Yoda, throw it in there as well for some evade stuff. Have yourself a little Hermit Yoda to do the Foresight. Jedi Knight Revan to keep passing turns around the Yoda, Master Luke. Easy, people, come on. You've also got some opportunities here with maybe using Dash Rendar and the Beautiful Scoundrel, because what does Dash Rendar lead do? Whenever a Scoundrel ally gains prepared, they gain critical damage up and offense up for 1 turn. And yeah, that means basically at the start of battle, boom, get yourself a ton of that beautiful, beautiful critical damage up. And I guess if you wanted to try, you know, Han Solo has an evasion up thing that can help you evade, but it's not gonna be as good as Foresight, but it might help anyways if you're working towards crit up. Again, giving you people options. Morgan Elsbeth, the great mothers, they need to survive. They just can't be there. So again, hopefully you got good DATADISKS. Hopefully you got a good team that they can piggyback off of. If your Night Sisters look as atrocious as my free-to-play account, hopefully you're someone more like this where you have the full team. You're going to be good to go if you have a solid Night Sister crew. But again, try to cheese it if you don't. Don't skip out on it. Put your best effort in, people. And basically, the only feat you should probably be skipping out here if you don't have Balin's Skull, don't know what to tell you. But you know what? Let me show you the tally of what I'm going to be skipping on the greatest free-to-play account that's ever free-to-played in the history of free-to-play to give you a little bit of motivation to push hard for this crate. I'm feeling good for a lot of you people out there. Let's do some math here. So one more time, a reminder, you can skip 34 key cards if you're chasing after red crate. You can skip out at 134 if you're pursuing the gold crate. So starting off with the global feats, assuming my Night Sisters aren't getting any love, I'm going to shave off 16 points right there. Or 1 for the feat and then the extra for using the stupid War of Attrition thing. Sector 1, I fortunately just unlocked Luthen Rail. I am good, but you might not have them. Adjust accordingly. Sector 1, I'm not skipping any feats. Sector 2, I'm going to have to skip out on the Ezra Bridger Exile. You have them or you don't. I still don't have them, but by the end of the Rey Conquest, I'm hoping going to have Rey and Ezra. But nonetheless, in the meantime, we got to skip out on 3 right there. Is manageable. Sector 3, I'm going to be skipping no feats. All these should be fairly doable. Sector 4, again, I'm not going to be skipping out on any of these feats. All these, again, should be doable. Your guys already have Hu Yang. Hopefully you have a Kylo Ren. This one shouldn't be too bad. And then Sector 5, I'm going to have to skip out on Balin's Skull. So let's add another 5 to that. And you know what? I just noticed Sector 2, I forgot to add win with the full squad of Night Sisters. I don't have a good Night Sister team, so I'll add another 2. So as you can see, through my preliminary math, assuming this isn't going to be like the craziest difficulty conquest of all time, and assuming I have enough time to play 2 conquests, I have 26 key cards that I'm going to be skipping, and that leaves me an additional 8 key cards that I can skip somewhere else, or maybe some more annoying feats that I don't want to deal with, and maybe Sector 1 or Sector 2 somewhere. Or if a battle's a little too difficult, I can skip out on stuff there. So people, if my free-to-play account with 6 million, almost 7 million, can get its first red crate, get this done, I'm hoping a lot of you guys can too. But that's going to wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen of our beautiful Kyber Empire. I hope you find this video helpful. Leave a like, comment down below. I'll leave some resources for additional stuff out there if you want other options or guides. For example, SWGoH for Life from Bit Dynasty. Absolutely beautiful website. A lot of other great resources out there. But nonetheless, people, I guess we'll see in a few months, come January, if Rey Dark Side Vision is any good. But I think we all have some pretty good hopes. The Conquest units in this game have been very good this year. And I got a feeling Rey's not going to disappoint. But you know what else doesn't disappoint me? You guys. Because anytime I'm here with you, I'm always saying how it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.